So the law of attraction is everywhere, like an atmosphere, a pulsing, responsive atmosphere. And you all, us too, but you all are entering in. You can never enter out. You can never exit the sphere of it. But let's say you walk into a new room. And when you walk in, you've walked into this atmosphere, an atmosphere that always exists, but each atmosphere you walk into, each room you walk into, is responding to the components of that. Esther's been trying to find a way. She says, it's like I'm a bag of marbles and you're a bag of marbles. We're all a bag of metal marbles. And the law of attraction is responding to the marbles, the magnetic marbles. So if something just happened and I'm really upset and I'm really mad at somebody and really feeling like a victim, that marble or those marbles, sometimes it's more than one, are really active in me when I walk into the room. And there's 1,000 people in the room, and some of them feel the same way. The law of attraction makes that your experience. So you leave the room and you say, everybody in that room feels just like I do. Because you only have access to what's a vibrational match to you. So this law of attraction atmosphere is responding to what you've been practicing, what you've got going, what's going on with you. So it looks like this particular thing is happening, and it is. You're not wrong. But you got to understand why it's happening, because the assumption that somebody else is gaining control is absolutely not what's happening. You're just using them as your excuse to not have your own control. Esther has said to us, Abraham, if you say that to me one more time, why is it always about me? Why is it always about what I'm doing? Why can't you just for a minute say, they could be different? So we say, they could be different. They could be different. And then we say, and a lot of them are different, but you can't find them when you feel like that. It's easier to observe than to think. That's why we teach meditation. It's easier to quiet your mind than to be looking at something and say, I think I'll look over there. Jesus said, turn the other cheek. But it's not an easy thing to do if there's a lot of momentum going. So if you're able to quiet your mind, you stop thought. When you stop thought, then you got a different bag of marbles. Then things that you care about, that you want, you have better access to. We want to tell you something about your inner being. So your inner being has complete awareness of all of that. The only difference between the physical part of you, and not always, but the only part really worth mentioning here, is that your inner being never pushes against any of them, while you do. So you use them as your reason to not connect with your power, which makes you even badder at them. There they are behaving like that, and here I am looking at them behaving like that, and here I am pushing against that behavior which I do not like, as if I think I should get to decide what parts of the diversity stay and what parts of diversity go. And as I push against any part of it, I disconnect from my true power, and then I'm even more upset with them. Law of attraction's leading you to whatever's most active in your vibration. Esther finally decided she has a few different places that she can be, and all of them have a lot of televisions. All of them. She has a little apartment in California, and there's 3 televisions in it. It's little. You could hear any of them from everywhere. But there are 3 televisions. And Esther is thinking, she remembers some years ago, Jerry and Esther became very good friends with Burl Ives. Some of you know who he is. And he had a beautiful home on an ocean front and spent a lot of time in a little room with a big television. And he said, it's my window to the world. And Esther thought, yeah, that's what it is. She doesn't feel quite the same way about it now, because it's a window into a whole lot of programming that is slanted toward those who push hard against things, because that's always the biggest audience. And why? We talked about that earlier. Why do you push against things? Why is it easier to join some really strong, unwanted thing than it is to start with something that you might be interested in. That's got momentum, and that feels like power. It's compelling. So what do? Here's what we would do. You start by acknowledging, I'm an extension of source energy, and I'm here for all good reasons. I'm here to live and to create and to expand. Just start with those easy to find matches. And then say to yourself, and I live in a very diverse environment, just like I planned, with lots to choose from, because I want to figure out what I most like to eat and how I most like to feel and the things that I'm most interested in. And so here it all is, this big palette of choices. And I get to make them. Now, you all are in a position where you could start practicing that thought and accept it. Little kids can't really do that because they've got big people guiding their behavior and their direction and their attention more. But you're past that. And yeah, you've got some old habits of catering to others. We call it calibrating to humans. We call it conditional love. If I behave this way and I get a good response from you, then I'll perform for you because your response to me feeds me in some way. It does, doesn't it? But what we want you to remember is what's really feeding you is your source, your inner being. And you're being fed even while you're pinching it off. You're still being fed even while you're pinching it off. You're still being fed with this avalanche of well-being and clarity and love, even though you may be pinching it off. So then as you stand in your human beingness and you say, okay, I'm starting to get this. I have a large perspective, and the way I feel is my indication of how allowing or resistant I am to that perspective, so that you decide that you're going to start calibrating more to what feels good, and then you start noticing immediately the results of that calibration. Then that may be more compelling to you for a while. Esther starts over every single day, and every single day somebody misbehaves and she loses her way for a minute. There's just a lot going on out there, and you don't want to be oblivious to what's going on. It's all right to say no to that, because when you say no to that, you're saying yes to something else. But you've got to turn your attention to the yes part faster than ever before, because the no part has a lot of momentum going, and it will make you OCD. There's a lot of momentum going. There's a lot of momentum going. So you have to really, really care about how you feel. And you know what? We love you so much. We love you so much. You're not good at that. You're not good at doing what makes you feel good. You feel guilty when you feel good. Somebody will say, what are you doing today? And Esther will say, I'm working really hard. I'm really working hard. I'm working really hard, because she feels guilty that she spent the whole morning watching birds. What you been doing? Nothing. Going down my list, checking things off, doing all the things I'm supposed to do. Good thing there's no cameras on her, because she's following her bliss big time. She's coming to the place where she's doing what feels best to her. And she wants that for everybody up close to her and at a distance from her. She wants more people to do that. But most of you are very disciplined about doing what you're supposed to do rather than what feels good, because most of you have forgotten. You've lost track of the leverage and power that comes with alignment. Get into alignment and then get into alignment and then get into alignment, and then go do your work and find all the matches in the work that you're doing. Most humans are living conditional lives where if they see something that makes them feel good, then they support that. If they feel something that makes them feel bad, then they push hard against it. But when you say yes to wanted, you attract it. When you say no to unwanted, you attract that too. So unconditional living is, rather than trying to think your way through it, try to feel your way through it and decide that feeling good is what matters most. We'll talk about some of those easy matches, easy ways to tune into who you really are. You do not need to worry that people who are having a hard time are going to disrupt in any big way what's going on this planet. Because the well-being is what is dominant. And you can look at this place and this place and this place and this place, and we're not calling out one religion. We're not calling out one political party. We're not calling out one philosophy. We're not calling out one person over another. We're saying your diversity is a good thing, but you do yourselves a disadvantage when you're saying it's your fault. Because when it's your fault, you're disallowing everything that you want and blaming that. So let's end on this note. We're speaking from your perspective. I like that I'm here in this physical body because I sense that I had a strong reason for coming. And I think my timing was particularly good because there's a whole lot going on and I'm interested in things that are going on. I like action. I like motion. I like people, places, and things. And I like how, as we come together in infinite combinations of people, just think about a person and the depth and breadth of the possibility in a person. And now think about all of the persons and all of the depths and breadths of possibilities in all of the persons. Think about how they came in and why they came in and what they're looking for and what they like and how life has touched them and what they've decided. Think about what their vortex is like, and even more, think about all of the people that are in their vortex because they know them. Even more, think about all the vortices and all of the energy that's been amassed on behalf of just the current, present, now population on planet Earth. Think about what's being summoned for all of us. Think about the experiences that we get to have as we move around the different places, the experiences. Oh, there's so many places to be on this planet. So much variety. A place has more than just something that you can see or something that you can smell. It's got a vibrational habit already. There's a culture there. There's a momentum there. There is a vibrational balance there. There are opportunities that are in the ethers that I get to witness unfolding. The possibility of me rendezvousing with a person or with people in a place or in places at a point in time when they are allowing something that's in their vortex to manifest in their experience, it's an awesome opportunity. It's something that could happen in every moment of my existence in this physical body. My ability to rendezvous with the wholeness of who someone is my dominant quest. Because I know that there's lots of people rattling around, and I know that they're in various stages of alignment with who they are, but I also know that each and every one of them has an inner being, and each and every one of their inner beings has been gathering cooperative components, and that there are so many people on the brink of something in a moment in time that's just going to knock their socks off, and there's a really strong possibility that I might be there to witness it too, because I'm a vibrational match to that too. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to orchestrate when we rendezvous or how it unfolds. I trust that the law of attraction is doing exactly what the law of attraction does, always making it precise and accurate. And so it's my dominant intent as I move through all of these people and places and things and opportunities and experiences. It's my dominant intent as often as I can to be sure that I am tuned in, tapped in, turned on to all that I am, because I don't want to miss any of it. I don't want to miss one rendezvous with one person in one place having one experience. I want to be aware of it. I want to be present in this moment. I want to be fully present, and I want to embrace them and applaud them and support them and win with them. Co-creation at its best is my desire for this physical life experience. Yeah? That's what you said. That's what you planned. It's what a lot of you are doing. It's how it's supposed to be.